Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Viva-Mundo's webinar. Today we are hosting IE University. Hello to everybody in everywhere in Vietnam and all over Asia. We would like to let you know that we are taking questions throughout the whole webinar. We will be getting to those at the very end of the session. Please do ask questions, and if you can, place them in the Q&A chat at the bottom of your screen. That would be great. A little bit about Viva-Mundo and what we do. We are essentially here to help you on to the next chapter of your study abroad life. So if that's visa advice, career advice, all of the above that you are looking for when studying abroad, that is what we are here to help you with. All right, I'm going to hand you over to Andrea Bayani, who will be here to talk you through everything IE. All right, Andrea, over to you.
All right, thank you, Stav, and thank you for the BMI team for organizing this. Today we wanted to talk about IE is mainly recognized as a business school, but we want to talk about other programs that we offer that redirect you towards another what can be let's say a trendy industry nowadays, which is tech mainly, and so our programs regarding tech, data, and engineering. All right, so to give a brief explanation about our portfolio in terms of programs, as you can see from one side, we have the business side of our school, and at the opposite, the engineering side. Then, of course, in the middle, which is not the topic today, we also have other programs like law, architecture, international relations, but today this is not the focus. And in the middle, we have data and business analytics, which is some sort of a bridge between the two programs, because in a way it blends the business side and the engineering side of knowledge all together. So you can imagine in a way like a car in which you have the engine on one side, that can be the computer science and artificial intelligence, and then data analytics that brings the data to the driver, which would be, in our case, business administration. To go into details now, we start with business computer science and artificial intelligence, which is a brand new program. We started last year, so we only have first year students, and with this year we will have the second year student. Our study plan is composed as you can see here. So you start the first year with engineering fundamentals. It will be quite heavy engineering classes with a little hint of business subjects. That's because at IE, whatever you do, doesn't matter if it's design, if it's architecture, if it's law, or if it's anything with tech, we always want to give you a taste of business and managerial skill set. So you start with tech, the history, innovation. In the second year, you'll jump into artificial intelligence and programming. So you will learn how to program. We'll start probably with Python and R and maybe some others. Then a deeper dive into AI. And finally, in the fourth year, the new trends of tech. So to see also concretely what is happening out there in the industry, and then the application. So to put hands on project and see concretely where these things are applying. Where will you study? And then we will see also about the two campuses that we have. You will start in Segovia, which is this medieval town 1 hour far from Madrid in the first year, and then the other 3 years you will move to the Madrid campus. The picture here is actually old, but we will see the new picture by the end of the presentation. I mean, at the end, we feel like also that programs need to be interesting and they need to be cool. All right, so we just don't want you to study and have passive lectures, but there's something that in a way must excite you if you're passionate about the subjects. One of these is the fact that you will have the possibility to get the so-called TRL certificate, which comes directly from the NASA up to level 4. And another thing will be our capstone project, Can't tell you that much about that because, like I said, it's just the first class that we have, so we're still developing and working on that. But how it works is that you have some tech brainstorming followed by a professor in the first year. There will be a second year of conceptualization in which some professionals from the industry are invited to assist to the process. So you show them what you're working on, which is, I think, quite interesting. The third year, there will be the internship, which is the same basically for any program. But the idea here is to try find you an internship that is related to the project you're working on. And in the fourth year, the actual capstone presentation in front of investors. And the idea is that if what you're working on can be successful or has to their eyes some future, it's not a case, it's not even rare that they might give you fundings to work with you on that. Second program, which is tech related and engineering related, will be the Bachelor in Data and Business Analytics, so-called BDBA as an acronym. It's quite new as well. It started, I think, 3 years ago, so it's relatively fresh. In the first year, you will start with the basics, year 2 and 3 proficiency, and then will be career preparation and advanced topics. So again, like you will do for artificial intelligence and computer science, you will dive deeper into the program and what you're doing. Also, there's a mention about year 5. We will see why. It's because we have also dual degrees, and all of our dual degrees are 5 years. So you combine literally 2 subjects. More specifically, when we talk about basics, we mean fundamentals of data science and professional skills. So basically, in the first year, you will learn about the history of data, what they are, the meaning, how they're used, the professional skills, like what gives to them the analytical thinking, the advantages, big data, the meaning. All right. In the second year, you will start again from when you left and add something more. Something more would be data analytics and data technology. Data technology is basically the problems that the opposite. Data analytics will be the problem. Data technology will be through the use of technology, bringing a solution that you see with the use of data. All right. So it's all about numbers here. Year 3, you continue on the same path, but you will add a little bit of business application. So the idea is always start with the theory, understand what we're talking about, and then put hands on what you're doing. That will be the business application. And then in the 4th year, you would reinforce the business application concept. So basically, you will literally understand what it means to use data in real life and in the industry and in companies. In this case, where you're going to study, same, you will start in Segovia, and then you will go from year 2 to Madrid, and you will finish in year 4 there. This is fixed. You have no choice. Again, the idea is always to have something cool throughout these kind of programs that in a way can be heavy because numbers and quite intense. We have the so-called speaker series. So it's like paradoxically, you will be talking in front of master students. So you will show them what you're learning and something that they don't know. So you will present your knowledge to students with more experience and possibly knowledge and definitely older than you, which is quite fun and interesting. Some competitions that we organize throughout the years. Avi, to remember, can tell more about that because again, 3rd year, so we're still working on that, but it's a competition that we organize and update yearly. The data game, which is a national competition, you will have the chance to participate on behalf of AI, and datathons outside with some of the partners that we have mainly in Spain. Again, like for the BS AI, so computer science and artificial intelligence, you also have the chance to get online certificates like AWS and the IBM Cloud Service Use, and Anjana Data, which is a governance software, and also Microsoft and so on. So the idea is also to get something relevant to put in your CV and in terms of knowledge for later on for any kind of profession you would choose. I mentioned the dual degrees. So this is not all that we offer, but we also offer these combined opportunities, and one will be data analytics and business administration. The other one will be data analytics and PPLE, which is philosophy, law and economics, and politics, philosophy, law and economics, which is also a pretty new course. So the idea is to bring the analytical and mathematical thinking with a more humanistic vision and understanding of politics and law. So you bring a 360-degree kind of knowledge onto the field. In this case, instead, if you decide to do a degree, BDBA, BBA, you get the chance to choose if you want to do the first 2 years in Segovia, and here you see the actual campus, the other 3 years in Madrid, or you can do 5 full years straight in Madrid. In the other case, with the BDBA, PPLE, the dual degree, you cannot choose. You start in Segovia and you end up in Madrid. Now, more about us and the people we're looking for and the good fit for this kind of programs. The ideal candidate should definitely be a mathematical thinker, right? So in a way, quantity over quality, let's say somehow. So definitely strong logical and analytical thinking skills, already thinking with numbers, statistics, giving solution by bringing numbers and evidence. All right. Well, definitely enjoy math and take math classes. So enjoy doing both, because you will work with numbers a lot, much more than programs which are maybe more architecture, law, definitely, or business related. And then also, well, not necessarily having experience, prior experience, because of course 17, 18, 19, we don't expect to necessarily have an experience in the field, but for sure having an interest in tech, in innovation, in coding, that will be definitely a plus. And these are the type of people that we look for this kind of programs. Career path. Of course, you go to university not just for the sake of it, not just for mere knowledge, but also for what's going to be the next step. Everyone wants to go to a prestigious university because this can be a ramp in a way for future opportunities. So by studying this program at IE, most probably you will end up in consulting. There are many consulting companies that are looking for data and tech for analysts. There are many analysts out there, or business intelligence, IT, cybersecurity, global corporations. Why not? Like Google, LinkedIn, Microsoft. These companies are in need of this kind of profiles, but also the high-tech startups, fintech, adtech, martech. So these are trending a lot nowadays. Tech is a strong industry, and startups, IE itself, is something that insists on a lot because it's the future. And every big company used to be a startup, so it's where you start putting your first steps. So these are the main 3 areas of interest of our students and where they end up being. We don't have many examples so far, because like I said, these being pretty new courses, we don't know yet where they are going, but we can talk as experience, and also because our first interns in the 3rd year have been selected in one of these companies. But as of experience, we can tell you that with this kind of skill set, this is where you end up going, more or less. Now, of course, we just mentioned the locations quickly, but the idea is also to be in a stimulating environment where not only the programs are stimulating, hopefully, but also the location itself. On your left, you will see Segovia, which is a convent made in the 13th century or in 12th century, I'm not sure, but quite a while ago, and where the queen was firstly crowned, and now it works as a campus for our student. It's a beautiful city, medieval, quite close to Madrid, and in the middle of nature. So in a way, it feels like a Harry Potter fairy tale. It's a real on-campus experience. And of course, despite being an old campus, you have all the possible newest tools inside it. And on the other side, a jump in the future in Madrid, where we have our new tower. This is just, as you can see, made on computer, but you can actually find now real pictures because our new tower opened its doors a few months back in September. It's a 35 floors tower in the financial district of Madrid in the skyline. Consider that Madrid only has 5 skyscrapers and one of them is AI. So that's quite interesting, and I mean, even more because this skyscraper is a school, which is quite rare around the world itself. Inside you have all the things you imagine. You have virtual reality, you have a basketball court, you have a football court, you have volley, you have a swimming pool, you have bars, you have relaxed areas, you have a terrace, and it's just fantastic, at least for the people used to a different kind of Madrid. That will be all. Maybe just before really concluding, just again to insist more on who we are and what we do. Like I said today, of course, the focus was on tech and opportunities with tech, but we have much more to offer. We have communication, we have international relations, we have economics, we have behavioral science, architecture, design. We have the dual degree in business administration and design. Of course, business administration itself. So there's a wide range of programs that we offer. We welcome more or less 1,500 students, 1,600 students every year, divided between Segovia and Madrid. And we are famous to have some sort of a very hands-on way of teaching, not passive lectures, but pretty interactive. Professors that come from the industry, so they bring in their own experience, and an extremely international campus because 75% of our students come from outside Spain and literally every corner of the world. So these in general are, apart from the type of career you're looking for, would be the advantages for me to study at IE. I think I already spoken quite long, so I would like to give back the floor to Stav and to you guys if you have any questions for me.
Thank you so much. Let's keep your screen up at the moment, just so that if there are any, questions about being able to contact you, just leave that on the page. Do you have any Facebook or Instagram handles that you would like us to use, Andrea?
For Instagram, there will be, let me check because I don't remember exactly.
Okay, that's all right.
IE Asia Pacific.
Okay, I'll type that in the chat.
IE APAC would be.
Sure.
For Facebook, we kind of abandoned. So yeah, IE APAC.
Okay, I have sent that in the chat to all of you. So if you do need any advice, definitely have a look more on their Instagram and Facebook. So let's start the questions. I have the first one here. Hi there. How high would my English proficiency need to be?
All right, so that's a good question. So many universities, they ask for a proof of your proficiency with IELTS or TOEFL or any kind of English certificate. We don't ask that. And we will, I mean, if you have it, it's a plus for sure. But if you don't, we will check your English throughout the application, the interview, and the test. If we feel like your English is, well, not good enough, then we will ask you to take the language proficiency track, which is a course of English while studying that you'll have to pay on your own. If it's really bad, then in a way it can harm your admission, because of course everything is taught in English. There's no Spanish. Spanish will be just optional or mandatory, but for the first year, but not for the subjects. But in case your English is still at a good level, I wouldn't worry about that.
Thank you for that. That's great. And the next question is, are classes in person or online at the moment?
At the moment, they are in person for the 90%. We have a 10% of online classes. We still are adopting measures of safety in the classroom. So flipped classrooms, they're divided in 2 different timings, social distancing, mask, of course. Then there's a monitor on camera. temperature checking and so on. But the idea is to move back to full in-person classes soon, because that's the beauty of the experience, to be honest.
Yes, highly agree. Next question. To gain experience and to network, can I gain an internship in tech alongside my degree?
Definitely, it's an option that we offer from year 3 in every program. You will have the chance to do a 6-month internship instead of the electives. You're not wasting time in the meaning that you do this and then you have 6 more months to graduate, but you're just replacing the subjects that you will do in class. We have our own portal in which we have offers coming up every day. Otherwise, if you don't feel like there's anything relevant for you, it can be something that you find yourself and you talk to your career advisor saying you would like to do, I don't know, an internship in Google that we don't offer, for instance. And it doesn't have to be in Spain, it can be anywhere in the world, but it's definitely a possibility.
Thank you. And the next one, will I need to have my vaccination for COVID before arrival, or can I have the vaccine in Madrid?
You can have it in Madrid. It's not a requirement, and it's not even a requirement for AI itself to have the vaccination. But if you don't, we're using an app in which you have to update your status daily. So it can be quite annoying, but otherwise you can definitely have it in Madrid.
Okay, thank you. And can I gain help with accommodation?
Yes, we have our student service department. We help once you're admitted. We give you the options and we support you in your decision, in choices, and with the prices. We explain everything. So we have a department that is there also for that. So absolutely, plus me, of course.
Of course. And do you offer any financial aid for international students?
We do, and it's the same for everyone, international or not. Just like the fees, they are the same for international students or not international students. How it works is that first you need to enroll and get an admission. Once you get an admission, you can apply for a scholarship. You can actually apply up to 3 to have 3 different options, because you can't get more than one, but at least you have 3 options, and then we see and we decide what is the best fit for you. But yes, we give scholarship that goes from a 15% range to 100% in some cases.
Amazing. Okay. And does the course allow us to do funded research in tech?
The course, what's the question? Sorry.
Oh, does the course allow us to do funded research in tech eventually?
Yes. So basically, we have what we call the IU Lab and the Area 31. Reminds a bit of the Area 51 with aliens, maybe in the US. The idea is in this lab you can work on whatever you want, and well, first with the capstone project with investors. If the investors see that it's something very nice, they will talk further about the project. But also it's not uncommon that some professors are interested in projects and then research that you're making, and they provide you with our network of entrepreneurs and investors to continue further on projects and research that you're making.
Perfect. And what main qualifications do I need to apply? How high must my scores be?
Okay, we have what we call a holistic admission process. So we check on a little bit of everything. Of course, grades are important, but they're not all, because we can judge you because of a paper and some numbers on it. Like I mentioned before in the presentation, there's a student profile, which is what we try to assess during the interview. So try to see if you're open-minded, some sort of an international mindset, open to cultures and different people with different background, way of thinking, people who are passionate about the subject that you're choosing, and people who know about it. We don't want to have students who arrive there, it's just another university like another, let's try and apply. We want someone who's passionate, who is ambitious, and is interested about AI and knows about AI already. Of course, having a CV with some experiences that can be volunteering, summer programs, summer jobs, anything related to schools and projects, it helps. And then, of course, like I mentioned again, the grades. So it will be a combination of many small or bigger details that tell us a bit who you are, and that will be relevant for you. Also, which I forgot, and it's important, and it came to my mind after the question about the research. IE promotes startups a lot. We're quite famous in the world for our entrepreneurship spirit. actually Bloomberg, I think Bloomberg for 2 years consecutively named us as best university in the world when it comes to entrepreneurship. And that's because around 8% of our students at the end of our programs, they have their own startup. And I mean, at 21, 22 years old, it's quite impressive. So we do promote people with ideas.
That's amazing. That's really good to know. And how is the extracurricular activity on campus at the moment?
We do have them. Consider we have clubs, not disco clubs, but clubs funded by our students in which they share passion. Can be mathematics, can be philosophy, can be literature, can be anything. And sometimes they invite entrepreneurs. They invite people from the industry to come and talk and have network. Sometimes this leads to other opportunities, career path, and so on. But then also in terms of sports, we offer a lot. We organize trips with our IU labs. You have the chance to work on projects for IE and for one of our partners, and it's something that you put in your CV. So it's quite active, the community, and there are several opportunities also outside the classroom at IE.
But can we socialize more in Spain now with COVID restrictions? Will I be able to travel to Europe, for example?
Yes, Europe is opening much more. The situation is, as of now, quite under control, with also the vaccination rate being quite high on an average in the big European countries. So you can travel definitely within Spain, but also outside in most of the European countries. One of the rules to travel, so even if in Spain you don't necessarily need the vaccine, for most of the other countries you will need to have it. But the moment you do have it, you can travel, and there are no particular restrictions, just some form to fill in once you're traveling, but for the rest, it's fine. And the advantage of being there is also, apart from the fact of learning Spanish, which is one of the most spoken languages in the world, is that once you're there in Spain and you get a visa to work in Spain, it's easy for you to transfer and move to other countries in the so-called Schengen area. You can travel with no particular restriction.
And can I actually work and stay in Spain after my degree?
So you can work as a student under a student visa, absolutely, no problem. If you want to work after graduation instead, you will need a visa. It's not that hard to get it, also because, I mean, the Spanish government, they know IE, they know it's a prestigious university, and they know our students, so they're quite willing to give a visa when they can to our students. It's actually a possibility. We have around 25 to 30% of our students who come from abroad and they decide to stay and work in Spain, which shows it's a possibility.
Perfect. And we're on to the last question now. Is the university friendly to LGBTQ plus communities?
Definitely. When we talk to a certain mindset and open-minded people, we also talk about this. There's no difference. Everyone is equal in the same way, and that's why we're happy to have people from literally every corner of the world, and we welcome diversity as a plus. So no matter your belief or sex orientation, we don't care. We welcome with enthusiasm everyone, and if there are cases or situations that embarrass people, I want to be the one to know, because we will surely fix that. It's important for us that things get stable.
Of course. Thank you so much for that answer. And thank you all for your questions. They have been really informative. I think they have been very helpful.
Last year it was the capital for the movement. Every year
was it? Yeah.
Last year, 2 years ago, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's so good to know. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely, we're trying to create a more equal world, so we have to be open, you know. All right, thank you everybody for a brilliant webinar, and we have the information on the screen if you do want to get in touch with Andrea directly. That is his email, and we will be emailing all of you who couldn't attend via email as well, with the recording to watch in your own time. Please do visit Viva-Mundo if you do have any questions for either me or Andrea. Do let us know, and then we will get back to you very, very soon. Andrea, any last words?
No, just for anything you need, use my email anytime, no problem. There's no banal question when it comes to your future, so just feel free to ask.
All right.
And
Thank you.
thank you for coming today.
Brilliant. Thank you, everybody, wherever you are. Have a great evening or day. Bye.